think so.
I should pull it out. I won't.
I got strong
I
legs.
would never.
Yeah.
Not in front of all these people and cameras.
Adrian, you're a nice guy in person, but the characters you play are always kind of shady. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why you attracted to shady characters?
I think there's there's an old Walt Disney saying that the good guy's only as good as the bad guy is bad. And I'm not a tremendously likable person. I mean, I think I'm an alright guy, but I find that, once people, it takes a little while to get to know me. For some reason, maybe it's the way my face is built or whatever, I don't know. So they hire me a lot of times to be that guy. And then it turns out to be that people do actually not hate me totally. They do. They love to, I'm that guy. They love to be a bad guy.
Well, I've seen you drink before. You seem pretty nice when you're drinking.
I'm a great guy. Why, you have something?
I don't think Nolan really thinks of himself as a bad guy.
No, that's the key. You can't think of yourself as a bad guy. You got to believe you're doing the right thing for the right reasons at the right time. The events that surround you will define your behavior in terms of how it's perceived. So, I can't, you can't do any of that. Can't do any shifty eye movements. She does that really well. Watch, look at the shifty eye. Look at that. I'm scared of her.
So now you're becoming kind of a king of genre. Is that something that you're drawn to these types of projects?
I love this stuff. I love the people that surround this kind of projects. They're so creative, and they just have a desire to reach past average storytelling. And I think the most important thing is the fans of this genre. I've found from around the world, I've done these cons, are so loyal. And as long as you don't break the rules and respect the rules, and there are rules, you'll be okay because they're loyal and it's a great bunch of people. Truthfully, I've met some of the best fans in the world at conventions.
Maddie's shown that she really will do anything, to protect her kid and Katie's children as well. So, with getting in a relationship with Nolan, do you feel like that is somewhat genuine, or is that still? Do you feel that's still her doing what she needs to do to protect her family?
Carlton and Ryan have written it.
I don't want to know.
They've written it really ambiguous. But I think Maddie is pragmatic. And, she has to believe and buy what she's doing is the right thing in order to make anybody else believe it. She's got to truly believe herself. And I think also as a character, for the audience to get on board, she's got to buy that she believes in this. So I think she does to a certain degree. But look, if suddenly the occupation were threatening to kill her kid, of course she'd go for the resistance. Like, I think that's what makes Maddie really interesting is she'll sort of go with the flow wherever it takes her so that she can save her own skin and make sure that her child will survive. So right now, being with Nolan and being a part of the occupation and being aligned with the transitional authority makes the most sense to her.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely the safest area for her.
I always learn stuff about her when we sit and do these things. It's good.
And do you feel like, now that with your wife out of the picture, was that something you feel that Nolan was looking to get out of that relationship, or did it just all kind of naturally happen? Do you think there was a history there where he was ready to
see that look? Just like, that's a writer's game question. I just have to play what they give me. But I think there was probably he has. It's a lose-lose question for me, sorry. You know what I mean? I don't want to step on anybody. It's where the writers took it, and I think there has to be besides a plot-oriented kind of reason, there has to be a dynamic element to the relationship that he experiences with Maddie that he didn't have with his wife.
And you're a season into the show now. are both of you to the point where you feel like you have ownership of the character and you can start making suggestions on what you think the character would do, or do you still feel like you need another season to really?
I always felt that from the beginning. I feel like, look, it's me doing it, so you gotta, at least entertain. People by now know the package they're getting. I'm not an unknown commodity in this town. I mean, I bring what I bring.
Right.
They know it, and they're willing to work with it. I think it only makes it stronger and better. I always feel at home right from the beginning. The first episode of Heroes proved that to me. And then we really knew what we were doing right from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, it was a little bit of a... So, I hear your question. But no, with this one, right from the beginning.
Yeah, because it normally takes actors, like a season to really, sink their teeth into
it. It takes the writers that long. Because the writers sometimes will give you this, and then they'll give you that. It doesn't really connect. And that's what makes the character seem inconsistent.
Well, I think with Maddie, she was a completely different character when I was cast. And the writers went, this doesn't make sense. We have to write Maddie stronger than the way she was written because it didn't match the casting. So I think it took us a little bit, like a few episodes in the beginning of the season to figure out who she was and where she was coming from and what direction she was going. Because initially she was much more of a victim and like a wounded animal, and it was
She's no shrinking violet.
It was a much different character than it has evolved into.
Do you guys know what the aliens look like?
No.
We
I don't think anybody
two
does.
more questions, guys.
Even the aliens don't know what they look like.
You've kind of played both sides of it. Feels like two shows where you're living and then where you came from. Are you going to get to play a little more in that world, in the other side of it?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, Carol. You see a silhouette of you. I don't know where your eyes are looking. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, she got to play both sides.
It's a devastatingly handsome silhouette.
Thank you very much.
Nevertheless, I couldn't see her.
But you've been more the politics side, more the upper side, out of it. Now, with the new season coming, are you going to get to play with Josh a little bit more, or see the other side of what's going on?
Yes, we just Sarah and I just had a scene which was inconceivable the first season. Why would I run into her? But now, because of the storylines are crossing a little bit, and it does feed the fire. I mean, it makes everything a little more interwoven, to have those characters organically connect. So absolutely, it's not just the political side of it, it's more the familial element, I think, that gets brought in this season.
Can either one of you tease anything about season 2 of your storylines? You allowed?
We haven't been told not to say anything.
Don't go crazy.
For Maddie, she sort of solidified herself with Nolan, and obviously they've aligned themselves with each other, and she learns more about the Greatest Day movement, and is now in much more of a power position than last season because of being with Nolan, and so the tables have turned between what was happening with her and Katie last season and what's happening this season. So before, Maddie was very reliant on Katie to get insulin and to sort of be that backbone to help her get through having a sick child, and now Katie's sort of had everything stripped from her, and she has one child left at home. Will is gone, Charlie's gone, Bram was arrested, so she's now coming to Maddie for help. So it's flipped itself.
And then what's been your strangest Comic-Con experience so far?
Here this time, or in general?
All in general for both of you.
I think it's a couple of years ago. Well, it wasn't this con; it was another con. The best one had to be when we came out for season 2 on Heroes. We were in Hall D, and we had 6,000 people. And we showed a clip of what was coming, and Tim walked out with a briefcase handcuffed to him and had a DVD in it and all that stuff, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a YouTube channel at the time that I would put stuff up on. I still have it. I haven't done it in a while. But the reaction from the fans was priceless. It's still up. You can check it out. It's fun.
The last time I was here was Friday the 13th.
You were here on a Friday the 13th?
Yeah. on a Friday the 13th, promoting Friday the 13th. Yeah, it's crazy. I know it's crazy. Yeah, it was. I think the response. That was the first time I think I'd seen the trailer for the movie, and the response from the fans was awesome. It was really. It was overwhelming, amazing.
That's the best. Is when you connect with fans on a level like that.
It was really
it's super cool.
Thank you.